Buongiorno a tutti and welcome back to Crave, where passions are celebrated, stories come alive, and Italy and the US come together in one voice. In today's episode, we explore how the relationship between Italy and California continues to grow through innovations, sustainability, education, and cultural exchange, with two distinguished voices from the Italian Consulate in San Francisco. We will also stop by l'angolo della Lingua Italiana with Vania and catch the latest 49ers update with Alex Lopez. Buongiorno, Alex.
Buongiorno, Samantha.
Buongiorno.
So for this week's check-in question, I wanted to ask, what's one intention you want to carry into the rest of your day or week?
Interesting question. This week, I'm carrying an intention inspired by Bruce Kittle's meditation practice, entering stillness. I think it's very important because in the middle of everything, I want to find moments to pause, breathe, and reconnect with myself and with others, Alex. That's my practice for this week.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. And mine is kind of similar. Mine is our energy is too valuable to waste on what drains us. So this is kind of the intention is protecting your energy by avoiding things that drain you. And it's like a reminder to focus on what uplifts and aligns with, our well-being, and also to set boundaries around what doesn't serve us.
That's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Let's get started.
Let's get started. Today, we are honored to be joined by Consul General Sergio Strozzi and Vice Consulate and Commercial Attaché Vitalba Gammicchia of the Italian Consulate in San Francisco. Together, they represent a powerful bridge between Italy and California. In this episode, we will explore how this dynamic relationship is evolving from innovation and economic development to culture, education, and sustainability. Benvenuti a Crave.
Grazie mille, Samantha. Thank you.
Grazie.
Okay, let's start with the Consul General Strozzi. How would you describe the current relationship between Italy and California? What makes it so strategically important today?
First of all, thank you and thank Crave for this opportunity. California and Italy have always been huge partners in every field, from commerce to investments, trade, energy, environment, cultural relations, scientific relations. I would say that more recently, in the past years, due to the work the Consulate General has been doing, we are focusing more in growing as far as tech relations are concerned. So relations with universities, scientific and research centers, and technology companies as well. So the relation between Italy and California is a strategic one. Let's talk about trade first. As far as trade is concerned, Italy is among the 20 largest trade partners of California. We are actually right now the number 19. And good news for Italy. Italy is exporting to California more goods than what Italy imports from California. It's actually the value of exports, Italian export to California is $5.5 billion, whereas the imports from California amount to 1.7. And what do we export to California? Mainly luxury goods. Luxury is an Italian thing, as always. It's been in history, and we export fashion, accessories, jewels, and then industrial machinery, not only for industries, heavy industry, but also for agriculture, which is an important sector of the Californian economy, food and beverages, of course, and also sustainable infrastructure, transport. 1 year ago, we inaugurated the first high-tech train exported from Italy to California to the BART metropolitan trains, which is good news. So we are exporting traditional sectors goods, but also innovative and technological equipments like a diagnostic train to Californian subject. And that, of course, design, fashion, creative industries, and the other sector we're very strong in export is aerospace. We have a strong collaboration with NASA. As far as investments are concerned, Samantha, Italy is the 23rd partner in as far as investments are concerned, and we have over 230 companies, businesses employing around 4,000 people in California. And so the presence of Italian companies is a large presence. We are trying to boost the investments, and also we are trying to boost Californian investments to Italy by attracting local companies to Californian companies to Italy, and venture capital, especially when it comes to startups, where California is so strong in. And the other thing I can tell you about is, in 2023, 2024, the Consulate General has yearly assisted 100 companies coming from Italy interested in entering the US market or setting up collaborations with American companies based in the Bay Area, but not only, California in general. So the activity of the Consulate General, thanks to the Economic and Commercial Attaché Vitalba Gammicchia, who is with us today in today's interview, is growing by numbers year by year. And also, let me outline that growing the bilateral trade, the bilateral investment between Italy and California takes a village. And particularly, it's not only the Consulate General dealing with promoting Italy and Italy companies and industries in California, but we have what we call Sistema Italia, the Italian institutional ecosystem in California, which is the Consulate General, the Italian Trade Agency, which is based mainly in Los Angeles, but they have 2 desks in San Francisco, especially in the field of high-tech and investments attraction to Italy. And then, of course, since 2022, we have the Italian Innovation and Culture Hub and Innovation Center, which is a strong pillar for bilateral investments and bilateral trade, because we bring startups and companies interested in establishing a technological partnership in California from Italy, and we've been having a huge success on that side.
Vitalba, with over 450 Italian-linked companies now active in California, what sectors do you see driving the next phase of collaboration?
Yes, the other 3 sectors very important are sustainable energy and environment technology, Italy's advancement in renewable energy, and California's aggressive climate policy create very strong energy. Collaboration on green hydrogen, carbon capture, and smart grid technology is likely to grow. Another very important sector is life science and biotech. California's biotechnology hubs align well with Italy's expanding pharma and medtech industries. Joint venture and research and development in personalized medicine, diagnostic, and medical device are poised for growth. The other one, the last but not least, mobility and smart infrastructure, with Italian firms like Ferrari, Pirelli, Mermec already active. Collaboration can expand in electric mobility, autonomous vehicle technologies, and sustainable transport infrastructure, area in which California is investing very heavily.
As you know, in San Francisco, you can't go anywhere without talking about artificial intelligence. So let me say that besides the sectors Vitalba was mentioning, another sector area of growing collaboration between California and Italy is artificial intelligence. I would say Italy has a thriving ecosystem for AI. It's growing a lot. We have 2 large companies dealing with AI. One of them is general AI, large language model, and the other one is more focused on specific sectors. But we also have a large number of small and medium enterprises dealing with creating and elaborating AI solutions, and also startups. And what we've been seeing in the past, let's say 1 year and a half, is more and more Italian companies coming to San Francisco and the Bay Area and Silicon Valley to mix and match with American partners. This is very good news because it can provide opportunities both for California companies interested in landing in the European Union territory, and also Italian companies landing here in California to boost their collaboration. So AI is another very strong sector we are growing very much.
Right. So now let's talk about innovation, one of the core pillars of this transatlantic connection. Consul Strozzi, Innovit plays a unique role in linking Silicon Valley with Italian's innovation system. Can you explain what Innovit offers and why it's important for Italian startups and enterprises?
So the Italian Innovation and Culture Hub, Innovit, is a strategic project of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Italian Trade Agency. So it's been launched by the Italian government in 2022. I had just arrived a few months before, so I sort of lived Innovit since the very inception of it. And it's been a huge path. I would say one thing I will always remember of my time in San Francisco is launching this one-of-a-kind project. Innovit is mainly a platform for Italian companies to boost our innovative ecosystem of startups in Italy by bringing our startup founders here to San Francisco in the different verticals and having programs of mentorship, let's say boot camps for them to mix them and match them with American partners, Silicon Valley stakeholders, experts, technological experts, people from academia in Silicon Valley, and of course fundraising, so venture capital from the Bay Area. So the acceleration programs, we started them in 2023. And since then, we've had so far 6 programs in 2023, 6 in 2024, plus 1 in the first month of 2025, and we're having the next ones in May, at the end of May. The programs, the verticals we touch are usually in the deep tech field. We are talking about space economy, health tech and biotech, fintech, cybersecurity, hardware, robotics, but also clean tech and energy transition. And we bring every program, meaning every 2 months, 15 startups founders and 15 entrepreneurs of, let's say, small and medium enterprises from Italy. The programs are very curated by the team of Innovit. The director is Alberto Cito, and of course the Consulate General is on a daily collaboration with them to enlarge, to expand, widen up our network of mentors, of leaders, of speakers during the events we organize at Innovit. And the Italian Trade Agency also is a major player in what Innovit does. The first year, actually, you may be curious about that. The first year we launched Innovit, it was not about business and tech and innovation. It was about culture, because the first subject with the entity we entered Innovit with was the Italian Cultural Institute in 2022. The programs for startups were not ready yet. So we started with activities on the cultural promotion side, the Italian language, and we did a sort of warm-up of the whole hub of Italy in San Francisco with the promotion of culture. But mainly what we do, apart from accelerating our companies by bridging them here with Silicon Valley stakeholders, is also to represent and narrate sort of a new picture about Italy Americans know very well our country and our economy as far as traditional sectors are concerned: fashion, design, cars, luxury cars, sport cars, and motorbikes, of course, tourism, and so on. What they don't know is that Italy is a country of talent, of innovation and technology. And that's why the Ministry of Foreign Affairs launched this project, which is a very strategic one. The three pillars we act on at Innovit are mainly, I mentioned them, but I would like to outline them once more. Fundraising, so venture capital, and encouraging American venture capital to go to Italy and invest in Italian companies, startups. In case they are interested, the Italian companies are willing usually to start a branch here, to start a legal entity also in the Bay Area, in the United States. Second pillar is technological partnership, and we leverage very much on the presence in the Silicon Valley of universities and research centers of primary importance, like Stanford University, UC Berkeley, UCSF, Davis, and so on. And also we leverage on the huge and very qualified Italian diaspora to the United States. The number of mentors that joined Innovit programs in the past 2 years is over 600 mentors, and they are, of course, Americans, but many of them are Italians, working at the universities in big tech companies of the United States, like Google, Meta, Salesforce, Nvidia, and so on. And they want to give back to Italy, and so they participate in our programs and in our events. And the third pillar is, of course, entering the US market. And the Italian trade agency is highly specialized in helping and supporting, backing our companies to enter the US market, especially in some very specific fields like biotech or in general health tech, where they need an FDA approval, for example, and so on. So Innovit is becoming a huge success for Italy, and we might say after 2 years and a half that Italy is back to Silicon Valley.
Vice Consul Vitalba, are there any recent success stories or emerging trends from this Italy-California innovation ecosystem that stand out to you?
Yes, there are a lot of success story. For example, one is Ducati in the world of automotive, which has opened its door in California. But if we are thinking at the field of tech, there is also a very relevant, important story, which is the one of Gematech, who is working in 3 different states: Perugia, Italy, Seattle, California, and Lausanne, Switzerland. Gematech operates in the field of efficiency and enhancement of the AI, a sector, as Consul Strozzi said, very, very important, with advanced thermal management solution for next generation chips. It has been created by the desire to harmonize sustainability and technological growth, two goals that often seem to be conflicting. With the team mostly Italian and the research and development based treatment, Gematech has really report a very big success in California.
So Samantha, my defect is sneaking in. Let me add to what Vitalba said. We were sharing information, but I would like to mention also one thing we are seeing in the most recent years is that there are a lot of American companies from Silicon Valley moving to open branches in Italy too. And I would mention the field of health tech and biotech as one of the most successful one, where we attracted the talent and companies from Silicon Valley to Italy due to the fact that the health system in Italy is a public one, but very well organized. It is one of the best healthcare systems in the world, worldwide. So we are attracting American companies to open their branches there to have their clinical trials, for example, or to leverage on talents, biologists, engineers. So we had 3 companies from San Francisco opening branches in Italy. One is in the field of robotics and pharmaceutical, which is a very interesting field. Another one is, the other 2 are in longevity and, let's say, life sciences at large. Another phenomenon which I would like to mention with you and Crave is that by the time we opened, since we opened Innovit, we are not only seeing startups and small and medium enterprises coming from Italy to San Francisco and landing here and bridging with American partners, but we also have large Italian corporations to come to Silicon Valley to start their open innovation activities. So basically doing scouting of startups, American startups, they might be interested in engaging in their field. And I would mention one of the largest banks worldwide is the first at European Union level, and it's Italian bank, Intesa San Paolo. They're present in San Francisco since 2023, and they're doing open innovation. They bring companies, client companies to San Francisco for programs with Innovit. And the other sector, which is a very crucial one for our future, is energy, renewable energies, and the sector of electricity and energy transition. So both Italgas and Terna, which are major Italian players and European players, have landed in San Francisco thanks to Innovit, and they opened their offices at Innovit to do business with California companies.
Consul General Strozzi, Italian regions like Emilia-Romagna and Toscana have active partnership with California. How do these regional exchange enhance mutual growth in the area like sustainability and education?
So that's right. Regions and the collaboration between Italian regions and California is a strategic field for us. Italy is a whole nation, and it's very important to have a national strategy. That's why we are talking about Innovit and the strategic project brought up by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. But Italy is also a country of local territories, local communities, and clusters. Even when it comes to innovation and technology, we have innovation clusters from Turin to Sicily, from Trieste to Puglia and Sardinia and so on, and to Rome. So what we've seen in the past years is a rising number of regions interested in boosting their presence in Silicon Valley. I would like to mention Regione Toscana and Regione Emilia-Romagna as the most active ones in the past years. Tuscany region, Regione Toscana, has started a program for startups from Tuscany. The program is, of course, with Innovit. So every year, Regione Toscana brings to San Francisco a batch of startups coming from Tuscany in every field. So it's Cross Business is a group of startups, and they also opened a physical office at Innovit to mark the institutional presence of the region in San Francisco and in the Silicon Valley. Emilia-Romagna is very active, and I would like to mention, as far as this region is concerned, that it's the first region to sign up an agreement with California State. The other region which has become very, very active in Silicon Valley is Emilia-Romagna. Emilia-Romagna, like we can say many other regions, but Emilia-Romagna is a very important and strategic region for the innovation scenario of Italy. Bologna, so the main city of the region, hosts the supercomputer Leonardo, which is one of the 5th most powerful supercomputer in the world right now. And they're also updating the HP computer in Bologna. Cineca is the organization supporting and dealing with the supercomputer in Bologna. And they're sharing this huge resource for innovation, for artificial intelligence solutions in Italy, with many other players all around, Italy, but not only, even with the bordering countries. So, and also Emilia-Romagna region hosts Motor Valley, which is one of our key player when it comes to innovation and as far as automotive tech is concerned. So Emilia-Romagna was the first region to sign an agreement with the California state. We had the president of Emilia-Romagna, Stefano Bonaccini, signing this agreement with Governor Newsom in the field of sustainability, environment protection, and renewable energies and clean tech as well. So this was a very important step. But also other regions are, showing up in San Francisco at Innovate and at the Consulate General to bridge with California institutions. I would like to mention Regione Lazio, Regione Campania, another very important territory for our innovation field, and Puglia region as well. And the other thing I would like to mention, talking about regional and local institutions, universities from Italy are more and more bridging with California universities. Let's say our major players are the Politecnico, so the engineering faculties, universities actually, of Milan, Turin, and Bari. And they have a strong collaboration with all the universities of Silicon Valley and Bay Area, but also other universities like Bologna and Napoli have a strong partnership with local California universities. I'll have the pleasure next June to welcome a delegation from the University Federico II of Naples, the director of the Apple Academy, which is based in Napoli actually, at the University of Naples. Giorgio Ventre will be here together with the representative of the university for the rector, for the chancellor of Napoli, dealing with international relations. And we are preparing, setting up a very nice program for them to meet with local representatives of universities.
Okay, let's shift to sustainability, an area where both Italy and California are setting bold goals. Okay, Consul Strozzi. California is a global leader in green innovation. Where do you see the most promising opportunities for collaboration in sustainability and ecological transition?
So let me say, in a time of uncertainty, global level about being stuck to our goals to reduce carbon emissions and to boost our renewable energy solutions, I think the collaboration between California and Italy, as you said, two major players in the field of sustainability, is absolutely crucial and absolutely key. Yes, California is a global leader in these areas, as much as Italy, which is aiming for carbon neutrality by 2050 and to reach 30% of renewable energies in total consumption and 55 of electricity production by 2030. So we have common goals to reach. We are struggling to reach these goals, but we are committing both governments and the industry to these goals. And that's why it's so important to boost our and improve our collaboration. The areas of this collaboration are mainly sustainable mobility. And we all know, living in San Francisco, how sustainable mobility, how important this field is. We're seeing more and more EV vehicles, electric vehicles, more autonomous driving vehicles running around. And Italy is doing and improving a lot in as far as EV are concerned. So sustainable mobility. Smart cities is another area where we can do more, and we are focusing very much on in Italy. Of course, renewable energies are large. You can mention, you can name solar energy, wind energy, uh, which actually are very strong both in California and Italy, thanks to the conformation of our territories. But also, let me mention small nuclear reactors. Italy is getting back to doing research and opening up to small reactors, nuclear reactors, after we stopped, unfortunately, nuclear energy production in the 80s. Right now, the government and also the Italian society is rethinking our strategy as far as renewable energies are concerned, and small reactors are, I think, a very important component of this renewable mix. The other sector I would like to mention is circular economy. Italy is doing great in circular economy thanks to the fact that we have a strong number of enterprises dealing with circular economy. And we can bring more companies to California to mix and match with California, of course, partners, but also with investors. The other area where we can see a very increasing collaboration is waste treatment. In 2024, Italy's data regarding recycled materials was higher than the EU average, showing that Italy is one of the best performing countries in this sector worldwide. And I think this is a huge opportunity for California too, although of course California is a very well-performing country as well, but if we put together our efforts, we can also do more. Another opportunity I would like to mention finally, and as a last point, is given by the strengthened presence in the Bay Area of the large corporates I was mentioning before in the finance sector and energy sector as well. So Italgas, Terna, and banks like Intesa Sanpaolo are doing activities here to look for solutions as far as sustainability is concerned. Why am I mentioning Intesa Sanpaolo? Of course, Italgas and Terna are major players in the energy field, and they do great as far as sustainability solutions are concerned. But also Intesa Sanpaolo, which is a large corporate in banking, is investing in companies that are sustainable and offer sustainable products as well. So that's a huge opportunity to widen up our collaboration with California.
Vice Consul Vitalba, could you share an example of recent mission, Ferro Green Initiative, that reflected this partnership in action?
Every year, a business and government mission take place between Italy and California. Between April and May this year, we are welcoming 8 delegations, which is a huge number, both institutional and not institutional, all attracted by the vibrant Silicon Valley area and thirsty to meet the big tech. There is also a constant Italian participation in Californian fairs. Annually, we participate to the JP Morgan in the field of the healthcare and Game Development Conference in the field of the gaming. This year, we reached, as Consul General said before, a very good goal. For the first time, we had a collective pavilion of the RSA Conference 2025, which is the world's leading cybersecurity events. This initiative was promoted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, by the Italian Trade Agency, and by the National Agency for Cybersecurity. The Italian Pavilion representing a unique opportunity for Italian startups and innovative small and medium enterprise to present their cutting-edge solution in a high-level international context. The initiative aimed to promote Italian technological excellence in the cybersecurity sector. This participation represented a significant step for Italy in strengthening its presence in the global cybersecurity landscape, promoting dialogue and collaboration with key partners in the sector in the United States and beyond.
Consul General Strozzi, what message would you like to share with our Italian America listeners, especially young people interested in building careers that connect Italy and California through innovation, culture, or diplomacy?
You know my obsession, I think by now, Samantha,
I
and
know,
that's
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I love this question. I know he's going to.
exactly, you know my wonderful obsession. I call them wonderful obsessions. So rebranding Italy and California in the United States by showing our American friends that Italy is an innovation country, not only a traditional, country of traditional sectors. So our relations with California are increasing, growing very fast in every economic field, from biotechnologies, space economy, software development to robotics, hardware, and so on. There's an increasing interest by both California and Italian companies to set their branches in one another. Let's say we've been talking about this in thanks to your questions. And of course, there are huge opportunities in the traditional sectors of Italy, like culture, arts, music, tourism. And this is why actually the Italian Cultural Institute in San Francisco organizes lots of events at the intersection of culture and innovation and technology. So this is why exactly the Italian Cultural Institute in San Francisco organizes lots of events at the intersection between culture and innovation and tech, because we want to showcase what we do not only in traditional sectors but also in the tech field, and mixing up our tech, excellencies with cultural excellencies. So getting back to your question, what I would like to suggest and recommend all young generation, not only of Italian Americans but also of Americans at large, to invest in Italian language, both at school and of course college, university. I think you all have a unique opportunities to experience Italy's vibrant economy and business scenario by attending events both at the Consulate General and at Innovit. Take advantage of it and follow our social media. Get in touch with us. These years are amazing years for bilateral relations between California and Italy. And I think the new generation of Americans and Italians living in San Francisco, they can take an amazing advantage of what we are doing here. Don't miss this opportunity.
Beside your work, what is a personal passion that keeps you grounded and motivated, and how does it inspire what you do every day? And is it for both of you?
Samantha, I worked for the majority of my life abroad. Helping and supporting Italian abroad means being a bridge between two worlds, keeping cultural, linguistic, and emotional roots alive while also facing the challenges of integrating into a new country. It's a role that requires empathy, passion, and a lot of patience. That goal drives everything I do. It shapes how I respond, aiming to be clear, relevant, honest, and tailored to what you need in the moment. You could say that's what keeps my digital feet on the ground.
I know you like something else, Vitalba. I see your Facebook page.
I love golf. I like dancing tango. Now
See?
I started just 1 month ago to take some kung fu lesson.
I also saw you have a cat, right? On your page.
Yes, I have two cats, two
Uh,
wonderful cats.
that's your baby, probably, right?
Without them, it will be difficult to live.
And what about you, Consul Strozzi?
So, let's say representing Italy abroad is a unique job. It's something I think it's my dream. It was my dream when I was young, getting out of university. Used to be a lawyer, but I was dreaming of representing my country. I don't know why. I had this kind of thought since the university. So I made it to be to join the diplomatic career in Italy, and that's a great passion for me. But of course, I got passions beyond diplomacy, and when it comes to private life, I try to be not as diplomatic as I usually am in the work I do. So first big passion is music. I am an organist actually. I graduated the Conservatorio di Musica in Alessandria, my hometown, my family town. So I got the graduation in pipe organ, which is a very peculiar instrument, very few play. But since I joined the diplomatic career, I have to say I lost my practice, and it's always very hard for me to find the spare time to do some practice of organ, especially because you can't have a pipe organ home. So you necessarily have to reach out to churches and to places where organs are usually built. So music, also dancing, as far as music is concerned.
Nice.
I love disco music. I love techno, house, electronic music, especially. And then more recently, I've been opening up to new sort of passion, which is I'm gay, as you know, so I'm totally in favor of equality and disadvantaged categories' rights. So that's why and also I have a daughter and a son. So after caring very much about, all the disadvantaged categories' rights, like women and other people, gay rights, I've been participating all my life in pride parades. I'm opening up to men's rights and men's and boys' rights in the areas where there are discrimination against men's and boys. Let's talk about healthcare. There's no program for men's and boys, so preventing diseases at a very young age. There's nothing about that. Compulsory mandatory draft for military service is mainly male. Homelessness is 95% an issue for men, and sometimes unfortunately very young men as well. So there are areas where men are discriminated, and our society doesn't care about that. Drop off of students from school is mainly majority boy students. So I'm very passionate about this very challenging topic, which is a new one. No one very much focuses on. And of course, my third passion, family. I've got my husband, Simone, who is a great man, and I love him so much. And try to be, and also my daughter and my son are my love. And doing the job I do, I'm most of the time out of my house, and I'm not spending time with them. So I try to be at home as much as I can during the evenings and in the weekends. But I never make it happen because it's my agenda is very tight, especially here in San Francisco. So I try to sneak home as much as I can, but it's always very hard. And that's it.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you for be a part of this episode.
Thank you very much, Samantha, to you, to all Crave staff. You have an amazing team, and we love being with you.
Thank you so much, Samantha.
Grazie di cuore to our guests for joining us today and for sharing such a valuable insight into the evolving relationship between Italy and California. Stay tuned for the next episode, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, share, and follow us on social media. Crave is proudly partnering with the Consul General of Italy and Italian Culture Institute in San Francisco. Their support allows us to celebrate and share Italian culture, language, and innovation with a wider audience. For more information and upcoming events, visit their websites at the links below. And now it's time to the Italian language spotlight. Joy Vania for l'angolo della lingua italiana, where she takes us through the beauty of the Italian language. Vania, a te la parola.
Ciao Samantha, ciao Alex, come va? Tutto bene?
Bene, grazie.
Bene, bentornati all'angolo della lingua. La parola di oggi è allora. Allora means so, then, well. È una parola che usiamo per iniziare una frase o iniziare una conversazione. Allora is a filler that we use when we want to start a conversation or, starting a sentence. So, for example, allora andiamo al cinema stasera? So, shall we go to the movie theater tonight? Or, allora, cosa pensi del film? So, what do you think about the movie? So, whenever you want to start, like in English with so, that's the way to use allora. Possiamo usare allora anche quando arriviamo a una conclusione. So, when we come to a conclusion, for example, you are tired? Ok, then we stay at home. Sei stanco? Allora stiamo a casa. Allora rimaniamo a casa. Allora ceniamo a casa. Usiamo allora anche con il significato di back then. So we can use allora with the meaning of back then. Per esempio, nel 2001 ero in Italia. Allora, a quel tempo, lavoravo a Milano. In 2001, I was in Italy. Back then, I was working in Milan. So, allora means also back then. But use allora as you use so or then in English. Ok? Allora, per oggi è tutto e ci vediamo alla prossima puntata. Ciao!
Grazie, ciao Vania, grazie.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
This episode is brought to you by Mona Lisa Marimonti, a stunning Italian restaurant in San Francisco, California, where tradition meets elegance. Let's take a quick look.
My name is Sergio Foresi, and welcome to my family restaurant, Mona Lisa Marimonti.
Mona Lisa Mare e Monti serves classic Italian dishes, crafted with top-quality local and seasonal produce, in this charming, romantic setting located in the heart of North Beach's Little Italy. Mona Lisa specializes in seafood and steaks and fine dining. Everything is fresh, and all the pastas are homemade in-house daily. All our fresh ingredients come from local produce and farmers markets. No matter what time of year, you can be sure you're eating the best of the season. Mona Lisa is best known for our bistecca alla Fiorentina, which is a 24-ounce porterhouse steak. Our seafood is delivered to us daily by our local fishermen. Some of our most popular seafood dishes are bigoli frutti di mare, homemade bigoli pasta with prawns, mussels, calamari, and clams. Enjoy our pappardelle al cinghiale, homemade pappardelle pasta in a 4-hour slow-braised wild boar shoulder. With decades of experience cooking in the finest restaurants, our chef is excited to present our vision to you and all our guests. Our caring and committed staff make sure you have a fantastic experience with us. We refuse to compromise on quality in our restaurant. Welcome to Mona Lisa Mare e Monti. We look forward to seeing you soon. Ciao!
Alex, what's going on with the 49ers?
Okay, so I have to start the update with this. On April 29th, George Kittle and the 49ers agreed to terms on a 4-year, $76.4 million contract extension with $40 million guaranteed, making him the NFL's highest paid tight end. Wow. And yes, this deal pretty much guarantees that George will be the next Niner to join the 10-year club. There was never a doubt. It's crazy to me that a team, I don't know which one, but a team thought we'd let go of him, especially for a second-round pick. Like, be serious. Although this came from Diana Rossini. And let's just say I'm looking at her reports a little differently now, especially after George called her out saying that her source was incorrect when she reported that the deal was, like, far from done. Anyways, the Niners are having an incredible offseason and doing exactly what's necessary. They fired Nick Sorensen and Brian Schneider. They hired Robert Saleh and Brant Boyer. and they drafted a ton of needed pieces: defensive line, a linebacker, cornerback, safety, and an offensive lineman. Everybody knows I'm very happy about that. And now they've extended the people's tight end. I'm really hoping that Fred Warner and Brock Purdy aren't too far behind. And I have a feeling they won't be, because we saw Brock, Fred, Kyle Shanahan, and Robert Saleh, plus a bunch of the team, link up for a player engagement golf event. And while I'm not the biggest fan of golf for a completely different reason, I am absolutely here for the good vibes. Even Trent Williams showed up to voluntary workouts that they just had, and that alone says so much. The energy around this team is so different right now in the best way, and you can kind of feel the momentum building heading into the 2025 season. And that's the update for this week.
That truly understands your style, Alice Bakery Inc. in Novato is your perfect choice, featuring top designers and personal touch. Every customer gets a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. That's why Crave Radio is proud to partner with Alice Bakery Inc.
Thanks to Alice Becker Inc. for supporting this episode. Thank you for tuning into our 14th episode of our 6th season. Follow us on Instagram at crave.show and follow us on TikTok at crave732.
We are also on Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe. Also check our website, craveshow.com. Ci vediamo settimana prossima. Grazie a tutti. Ciao!
Bye!